I'm trying not to cry right now. This summarizes the week that I have had.
I'm waiting for you to see the tree so that I can hear your criticisms.
Coming up, we have plastic dollar store deer that we turned into decor and a lot of other great projects. Just take the chair down temporarily.
No way, man.
We're taking plastic ornaments and our new artist paint to decorate my tiny house and my sister's tiny house. And I have a fun story of how I got my store in a magazine.
The story that I'm going to tell you is about being in one of my favorite magazines where women create. You're going to have to stay tuned till the end. You know how I do, like break it up in between all the projects we do.
You hungry? You want some bacon? Sadie. And the tree still isn't in place. I'm over here to take care of business. Sadie, is it time to take care of business? We're going to get that tree up. I have a bag full of ornaments in my car. Yeah. Gift under the non-existent tree. It has my name on it. I used to get in so much trouble for shaking the packages. Are the branches attached to both sides?
Yeah, I'm waiting for you to see the tree so that I can hear your criticisms.
I'm editing the video right now and I wanted to interrupt it because I want to say something about my dad. Last week I was talking about how we work together and how sometimes there's a conflict. You all love my dad. If I try to even say the tiniest thing that is not absolutely glowing about him, I hear about it in the comments. And for the most part, those comments are totally fine. But I did get a few harsh comments in the last video. My dad is the head of our family. I respect him, but I don't want to cut those parts out because it's real life. If you're struggling with your own relationships, I don't want you to feel like you're alone because we all go through it. It's worth it to work through the conflicts, whatever they may be, because family and friends are the most important thing. So that's why I leave those things in.
I went to Five Below and the dollar store and I got these plastic deer and then I painted them with DIY paint in the color Layered Chocolate. Then I used air dry clay and the Dainty Flourishes mold to dress the deer up. You want to dust your mold with cornstarch first and then press the clay in firmly to the mold. Don't wait for the molds to dry. Glue them immediately onto your deer. I love using Aleene's tacky glue. After the molds dried, I painted them once again with a layer of Monet's Garden.
I take a sip and I'm in heaven. The dopamine is dripping on my brain. Imagination's at 11. Reality is gonna
I was so excited to be in the magazine. If they accept you, you have to take your own photos and you have to write your own article. I didn't know how to take good photos, especially back then.
I staged my store and made it look way better than it was. I took hundreds of pictures. I can only speak for myself, but in my experience, what you see on social media or in magazines are way better than what they're like in real life. Beautiful ornaments that Jenny made with our new paint, so we're going to attach those. Danielle's going to angle it slightly. Yes, what do you think?
I love it.
So one of the comments when I was describing your tree and what we were going to do, she said, just take the chair down temporarily.
No way, man.
I knew you would say that. What you don't know is this is her nest. She sits in it every day.
There ain't no temporary chair going down.
I think we came up with a really good solution. So let's plug it in. I am using Love Language and Old Flame in our new non-acrylic blendable artist paint. I am going over the molds after they dry to bring out all the detail, and then I am dry brushing the entire deer with White Swan. The dry brushing brings out all the beautiful detail. I got this pretty garland at Anthropologie. It was pricey, but ended up being about $2 a yard. Well worth it in my opinion. Just look how cute it looks on the hooves of these dollar store deer. I live in a tiny house, so I decorate in my bedroom and my kitchen. I sprinkle it everywhere. And these cute trees were painted from the dollar store. That was last week's video. You can check out the link below. She wrapped a gift, and that happens to be my gift. So So there's the first gift.
I have to put ribbon on it, but I wanted a gift on the shelf.
So we have this hook on the ceiling and we want to make a substantial star. So that will be coming in the next video. I got to figure out what that's going to look like. Jenny made those for you.
Cute,
Aren't they?
Jenny. So amazing.
So should we hot glue strings or should we just try and stick them in?
Look, he put the lights on.
He did.
What do you
Dad. Do you like it? I think it's real cute. Danielle also got this fluffy pom-pom garland at Home Goods, so now we're trying to figure out how to incorporate it. Goes with the finishing touch.
I'm just doing what you tell me to do. I have no composition skills.
It's super boho-y beachy. So we're feeling like it needs some other element. So we're gonna try some ribbon, but I do like it. Okay, I think it's pretty good. We added the ribbon, it's looking a lot better. We still need to wait for the star to dry and add that to the top. Shortly after the magazine got published, my store went back to being a mess. Kind of like Cinderella after 12 o'clock. My mom was sick and I could only be at my store once a month. I didn't want anyone to know that I even owned the store because it was dirty. It was grungy. There were cobwebs everywhere. I found these glittery cones at Five Below. And I have always wanted to make a tree topper angel. You can see here, this is how she ended up before I painted her. I'm gonna try and reenact this for you. I used a portion of the mermaid mold. I needed the head and shoulders to form the top portion of my angel. I'm using the air dry clay. That's what I prefer to work with most of the time. However, if you're using the clay and you don't have a hard surface to glue the clay onto, it is very risky. There was a big vintage show at the fairgrounds. I needed a break. The editor of this magazine, her name is Jo Packham. She was there. This is a picture of her right here. Can you see that? That's her. She started this magazine. Now she's the founder of Made TV. I show up at this place and there's a big long line. People are waiting to get her autograph. I see her and I was like shy, I guess, to even stand in line and go up and introduce myself. She just shopped and then I got back to my store. I'm at my store. I'm working, and all of a sudden, I see her walking toward the entrance of my shop. I used more air dry clay, the wings and feathers mold, to make her wings, and I used the primitive mold to embellish her skirt. The air dry clay is perfect for bending these embellishments around the paper cone that I got at the dollar store. But the top of the mermaid and the wings probably should have been made out of resin because they are not glued to the surface of the cone like the rest of the embellishments. Again, I'm using my favorite glue, which is Eileen's tacky glue. It dries clear, but it takes about 24 hours.
I just want to join in the video and just tell you guys how much we appreciate you. Thank you guys so much for watching our videos. If you haven't already, please subscribe and turn on the notifications so that you can get notified when our next video goes out. We are trying to get them out weekly for you guys. Anyways, we love you. All right, let's get back to the video.
After the molds completely dried, I painted them with our new artist paint and DIY paint. Now get a really good look at this angel because this is the last time you're going to see her looking like this. Imagine someone showing up to your house that you really respect and your laundry's all over the floor and you have a pile of dirty dishes. Tell my sales girl, whatever you do, don't let her go outside. Just block the entrance, don't let her go. Inside of the store, it looked okay. Outside of the store, looked like an apocalyptic mess. So I just introduced myself to her and I told her that I'd been in her magazine and I'm trying to block the areas that are all embarrassing looking and I take a picture with her. I was just doing everything I could to distract her. What have you got? Your mom, right?
Yeah, it's from my mom.
What else is in your hand? He brings me steak like twice a month sometimes.
Debbie washed it.
I did wash it. He always re-washes it though because he doesn't trust my washing abilities. Say hi to the YouTube ladies. Wish them a Merry Hanukkah.
Happy holidays.
We love our Bobby.
I love you guys too.
Bye. I am about to paint all of these plastic ornaments. I'm gonna try and make them look like jadeite, following Mama Bear Blue's recipe. She pours them into clear ornaments I couldn't find any clear ornaments that had the cool geometric designs to make it look like the old jadeite. I'm gonna try painting it on the outside. As soon as I saw Mama Bear Blue's video on how to make these jadeite ornaments, I knew I had to try it. I'm doing it differently because I couldn't find the clear ornaments. I'm trying to paint this special recipe on the outside of the ornaments. Go watch her video. She goes into a lot more detail, and stay tuned to see how mine turn out. I will link Mama Bear Blue in the description box and below. My deer is holding the ornaments as they dry. I'm gonna let them dry 24 hours and then I'm gonna coat them with Big Top. I got the deer on Amazon. He was plastic, and then I got a bunch of vintage fabric. I made him a couple of years ago. There's a video. I can link it below, or you can go try to find it. I think it's in the Christmas playlist. It's been one of those really discouraging days where I don't even want to tell you everything that happened today. One of those days where so many things just one after the next, and you're like, what did I do? But I've had enough days like this where I just know God has it, and I am still grateful. I just deleted the picture. I deleted it because vanity. I didn't want any pictures of me looking like that with her. Life changes, I have more help, and my store is pretty now. It was pretty before this massive amount of our new paint, 6 giant pallets that overtook my store. There's boxes everywhere, and part of it looks good and part of it doesn't look good. My good friend Dion said, hey Debbie, let's have a paint party at your store to launch Painterly. By the way, my friend Joe Packham of Made TV wants to come to your workshop. You think I would be happy about that? I was inspired by this beautiful ornament display at my church. They are just inexpensive plastic ornaments hanging from fishing line on an embroidery hoop. So I'm finishing up my own plastic ornaments by dipping them in Big Top and letting them hang to dry. Then I'm painting some of those ornaments with white swan and then a layer of our new artist paint in all of my favorite colors. Normally I let ornaments dry on skewers, which I stick into a chunk of styrofoam, but these lids wouldn't come off, so I was looking for every place in my house to let them hang to dry. And you can see I had to get really creative with that. After the paint dried, I used a tiny brush and some watered down glue to highlight all the details with some glitter that I found at the dollar store. My store currently is a disaster again. I have to get it cleaned up, get rid of all the extra boxes. As soon as Christmas is over, I have 2 weeks to tear Christmas down and make it ready for everyone to come to the workshop and for Joe Packham to come back and for me to redeem myself. All I needed to do was get some picture and video of how beautiful these ornaments turned out, but my tree was in front of the window, which is hard to photograph, so I decided to move it all to my bedroom. This is why you might want to make this angel out of resin instead of clay. I couldn't get a good photo of the angel. Took the time to set up the whole tree. I didn't take her off the top. I was transporting the whole tree over here, and it hit my purse right there. The angel crashed to the ground, and now she is totally slaughtered. So I made this whole angel off camera because I wasn't sure if I could even do it. This clip right here just summarizes the week that I have had. A lot of effort to build something and total disappointment. Just a dumb angel, but does make me want to cry. This is the clip I got before the angel came crashing to the floor. As soon as I calmed down, I knew I had to fix her. Sometimes God gives us a do-over, and we have to trust there's a reason for it. Just like the do-over I'm getting with Joe Packham. I remember her talking about her magazine and how she wanted it to be an authentic place for artists to write in their own words and take their own pictures. Not familiar with it, artists from around the world show you what it's like inside their artist studio. Joe told me that when she first started her magazine, when they started submitting pictures, they were submitting these beautifully staged pictures after they cleaned everything up. She started surprising the people that were going to be in the magazine and showing up at their studios
without letting them know she was coming, they were devastated. She had to change her plans and let them stage their studios. I'm super excited for her to come back, although I have a lot of work to do again.
There's my broken mermaid. I did have one made out of resin that I had glued to an ornament. I pried it off. I'm gonna try and find a way to glue her to the top. I have a video from a couple weeks ago showing how to cast resin with the gingerbread ornaments. It's pretty easy, and I'll put a link to that in the description box. I'm going to try and take the pieces that I have and glue them back in place. Let's see if I can use a combination of glue to get her wings glued back on. That did not work. This glue dries really strong. It just takes a long time to dry. These clamps to hold it in place because it's a slippy, slidey glue. And then after the whole wing and top of the angel dries, then I will glue her on.
I filmed all of that thinking that for sure she was coming, and she might not. So I wanted to tell you that, but there's a good chance that she's coming. Anyway, the workshop, there's gonna be 6 of us, and you are gonna meet them in just a couple seconds because they have a short video for you. I asked them to pick the color that they most resonate with, meaning the name of the color, and tell you why. I'm rambling, which is appropriate because the color that I picked is Extra Electra, because I'm the kind of person who likes to do too much, and then I have to edit my words and my thoughts and my art way down. And so yeah, I'm Extra Electra. The challenge was to I can't say it in 10 seconds, but that was the challenge. In 10 seconds, talk about the name of the color and why you relate to it. So now I want you to meet the other people coming and listen to what they have to say.
The name Poetic Pink gives me the feeling of calm, peacefulness, serenity. Wait, that doesn't describe me at all. It's a beautiful color though, right?
Hey, Maximalist here. I'm one of those people that thinks, well, why not have them all when there's a rainbow of colors? Why would we ever settle for less? Plus, we can't just leave a color out, can we?
My favorite is Peacemaker because we all need a little peace in our lives, and look at that color. Mwah.
I love Dreamville because I'm a dreamer. I once dreamed that I could be a painter by the water. Here I am in my Florida studio. I still have dreams for myself, and I hope you do too.
Love language is my favorite painterly color. Love is the most important thing for humans to be happy. They won't feel loved unless the language used is understood and expressed effectively. I make it a goal to try to use whatever love language the other person needs to hear so that they understand. And I try to make sure they understand what I need as well.
If you believe that everything happens for a reason, then maybe this angel serves as a reminder that we're all broken. One of the hardest things to do is admit our weaknesses and our mistakes. But if we can authentically do that, then we can really connect with each other. Because this angel was made out of resin, I couldn't bend her arms to hold the bird like she was before. So I left her making a fist because I think that's appropriate considering everything she's been through. This is the head from the broken one, so I'm gonna peel that crown off and glue it back on her head. And I just wanted to update you that the skeleton is still here and somebody added a hat. He was wearing a baseball cap, but that got stolen with the first one. That's kind of neat. He's our miracle skeleton. If you're not familiar with this scripture reference, it has a lot of meaning. This is not a Halloween decoration. It is a meaningful statement. And so is this. I'll screenshot it and look up the song. It's beautiful. I'm still working on the jadeite ornaments. They didn't turn out exactly how I wanted, so you'll have to stay tuned next week to see how they end up. Now it's time to take this angel and put her back on the tree.
I love you, Madeline. I love you, Madeline. I love you, Madeline. I'm madly in love with you.
If you're you're wondering about my headboard, it's an inlay, and I have a video for that. I will put the links in the description box, along with links to all the products we used in this video, and links to find a DIY paint retailer near you, as well as all the information about the paint workshop coming up in January. I hope that you can join us. We would love to meet you there. Thanks for watching.
There was something that served me like crazy.